Average isn't a talent level. It's a decision you make every single day without realizing it. And the worst part, most people making that decision genuinely believe they're trying hard. They're not lazy, they're not stupid, they're just doing what everyone around them is doing. And everyone around them is average. So let's talk about the 5 things that actually separate the people getting results from the people talking about getting results. Not 5 vague ideas, 5 specific behaviors. Things you can look at tonight and go, yeah, I'm not doing that. Or, yeah, I am. The first one is this. High performers have a relationship with discomfort that most people find bizarre. You know someone who wakes up early not because they have to, but because they decided that their mornings belong to them. They're not superhuman. They're just unwilling to let the first decision of the day be the easiest one. Most people hit snooze. That's not just a sleep habit. That's a signal, even half asleep, that when something uncomfortable shows up, the default is to push it away. High performers don't love waking up early. They just stopped negotiating with themselves about it. One choice, no debate, every day. The second habit is harder to talk about because it sounds almost rude. High performers are selective about who they spend time with. Not cold, not arrogant, selective. There's a guy, smart, driven, full of ideas, who spent 4 years surrounded by people who thought ambition was embarrassing. Every time he talked about what he was building, the conversation shifted. People made subtle jokes, kept him comfortable, kept him small. He didn't cut them off dramatically. He just quietly started spending more time with people who were actually building things. 6 months later, his own output had doubled. Not because he found some secret, because the conversations around him changed. And conversations shape what you believe is possible. You become the average of what you tolerate in your daily environment. Not just people, conversations, content, everything you let in. Third habit. This one most people skip because it feels obvious. High performers review their failures, specifically, in detail. Not in a punishment way, in an engineering way. Most people, when something goes wrong, want to move past it as fast as possible. The discomfort of sitting with a failure feels unproductive. So they label it a learning experience without actually learning anything and move on. High performers do the opposite. They sit with it longer than feels comfortable. They ask what exactly went wrong, not in general, specifically. Not, I wasn't focused enough, but I ignored that email for 3 days because I knew it meant more work and I wasn't ready to deal with it. That level of specificity is brutal. It's also the only thing that actually fixes the problem. Fourth one, high performers protect their attention like it's money, because it is. The average person checks their phone within 10 minutes of waking up. They've already handed their focus to someone else's agenda before they've had a single thought of their own. High performers have a window, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, where their attention belongs only to their most important work. No notifications, no messages, no quick checks. That window is where most of their real output comes from. It's not about working more hours, it's about having even 2 hours a day where your brain is actually yours. If you can't name the last time you worked on something important for 90 minutes straight without interruption, that's the answer to why progress feels slow. Fifth habit, and this one might be the one people most don't want to hear. High performers have written clarity about what they want, not a vague sense of direction. Actual words on an actual page about what they're building and why they're building it. Most people are moving, they're busy, they're doing things, but they couldn't tell you in 2 sentences exactly what they're working toward and what they're willing to sacrifice to get there. When it's written, when you've actually committed it to a page, you have something to measure against. Every day you either moved towards it or you didn't. The people who seem focused, they're not more disciplined than you. They just have a clearer target. So, here's where this lands. 5 habits, none of them revolutionary, all of them uncomfortable enough that most people skip them. The question isn't whether you know them now. You do. The question is whether knowing changes anything. And that answer isn't about motivation, it's about what you actually do when you close this video and the feeling wears off.